Faisal, you talk about your early years and growing up in Kuwait and the values and virtues that were so important that seem to be largely missing in our societal values today. Um, I wonder if you have anything you'd like to share about that.
Yes, thanks. I was fortunate or had good karma to be born in Kuwait before the oil was discovered.
Mm.
And Kuwait was a mud village. You know, the houses were made really of mud and stones we take from the sea. You know, there was no cement, there was no rocks, just that mixed mud, and the houses were there. In fact, one year it poured in, rained so much. That was the year before I was born. The sign was, I asked them, when was I born? They say, oh, you were born when the rain came so much and the mud cities were demolished. The whole Kuwait fell, you know. But it was very simple society.
Mm-hmm.
And the values were based on something different from the material realm we live in.
Mm-hmm.
It was based on spiritual values. It's based on relatedness to the soul, relatedness to being, relatedness to God, relatedness to how creation is created and how to go in harmony with it.
Mm-hmm.
So they realized, those ancient ones, through the virtues of religion, connection, fear of God, love of God, prayers. It was very spiritual society. They learned the virtues through direct contact. When we attain those virtues, those ethical, moral values, the result is that we feel good. We feel spiritually high.
Mm-hmm.
We feel more human, divine. You know, what happened in the new age, in the material age, and in the westernized and got exaggerated in America, is materialism. The values were shifted from virtues, which has to do like with generosity, peace,
Compassion,
honor, compassion, integrity, love, decency, humility. These makes the soul cultivate wings.
Mm-hmm.
It can aspire to the realm of light. It can aspire to pure being. But if we download it with lack of ethics, greed, dishonesty, you know, or the soul sinks into the quagmire of the lowest realms of existence. You know, life loses its beauty, its richness, and becomes filled. The person's filled with greed or just animal soul or lack of evolution,
addiction.
We see now what's happening, that American society used. When I first came here, it was like I feel I landed like in a holy city. People were so good. The goodness of the American, the land of the free and the brave, and all of those things. And the American dream was such a dream of all humanity, you know, to grow in a system that's safe, protect you. There is law and order, that you can, by your work and effort, you can build a little wealth and buy a house, you know, and get married and have children and have a big car to go. I mean, everybody dreamt of this dream, to have it in this life. And they were doing it in a good way, in an honest way, in an honorable way. I was so touched, 64, when I came here. I wrote to Kuwait, you know, we are losing, you know, what if we really walk the right way, we would become like America. We are losing it because Kuwait at that time, 64, when I left, was getting into money and oil and greed and, you know, image and all of that. While the Kuwait I grew up in was based on the ethical, moral values. Mm-hmm. The wealth of the person was not counted by how much you make money. The wealth of the person counted by how much virtues you have, how much goodness you have in you, then you are gold or you are diamond. Literally, they will say, "Oh, he's a pearl. Oh, she is just jewels." You know, one of my aunt, her name was Jules. You know, because she has so much of those virtues. So I grew up in that, saturated with that. The Kuwait mud village. I remember, like, you walk in those mud village, the feeling as if there's preciousness. You want to kiss the walls because there's goodness in it. It's glowing. I didn't know what it was. You know, I knew there was glow, there was substance, there was something glowing. Till I got more in-depth spirituality and awakening. I realized, oh, that was like a golden city. You know, it was like a holy city. It was little Jerusalem there by the sea. People loved, cared for each other. I remember, like, if like our neighbor cooked something that's really nice, you know, the wife there will take little pieces and distribute it in the whole neighborhood because it came so nice. She cannot just eat it, you know, and her family. It was all like that. My mother breastfed, I think, 3 or 4 children who are not hers, the neighbor's children, because she was robust and had so much milk. So I have 4 or 5, we call them brothers in milk. And they are like brothers in blood, you know. There was this kind of wholesomeness, of spiritedness, of love, of care, you know, and you are really measured. They were so they were perceptors. They were so intuitive that they can tell by your demeanor, by your behavior, whether you are a gold or a copper.
What is copper?
Copper means like somebody who is just jinx, who is pretending to be gold, but lower metal pretending, whether you are zirconium or a diamond. You know, they could smell it, they could sense it, they could feel it. Their body was so rich with substances, even though they were poor, they died young because they didn't have, you know, all of those things, but they were glowing entities. And to see America, which was not far away from that at that time, people were really more human, turn into now aliens. They are wired inside steel, you know, lost humanness, less warmth. They are functional units, you know, greed, riding over everything. I can't believe this has happened to America. So Kuwait was golden city for me, for my unconscious. And that's why, I think partly why I was born there, you know, was quite a realization where I came from and why I was born in Kuwait. And that I was to be shifted to come to the West. And the West here, when I entered in America, even though it was made of goodness, the momentum to program the American to be a functional unit, to be part of a factory, to use them, misuse them, and throw them, was already being installed years after years, one political party after another building that. And America, instead of being, it used to be like a white city, white holy city, city of support, goodness, virtue, the good American, the salt of the earth, really goodness, became an iron city, excuse me, a city of defensiveness, a city of alien, a city of everybody living for themselves, you know, and a city now want to conquer the world and become the new Roman Empire. All of those things fell from that virtuous plane to the material fear, insecurity. And instead of having the white holy city, it has become iron holy city. And to create a system made of defensiveness, steel, iron, I think this is the furthest alienation the human soul can go into. They lost so much of the warmth, of the goodness of human. They are good, but they are not being allowed to experience this goodness. Kuwait, of course, lost that. Kuwait now became material, and very few know what the virtues are. Everybody know about money and prestige and image and Gucci and all of those nonsense, you know. So that was part of the growth that I I accumulated in my soul. Then when I came to America, I merged with the collective. And I fell, which is part of the design, that I fall. And in this fall, I go through this therapy. And in this therapy and spirituality, as I awaken, I retrieve the essential domain and the teaching about the essential domain. So originally, I believe I came from somewhere else, not the Middle East. I got reincarnated in the Middle East, middle ground, not too much westernized, not so much spiritual. I tell the story about the spiritual.
Yeah.
Okay. After about 6 or 7 years ago, I felt the momentum of the teaching has reached its fruition. The journey of the Diamond Logos not only take you from the ego and the development and the essential all the way to enlightenment and back, but also that was the path of liberation, but also the path of salvation came. Grace, as you said, we need grace, we need divine intervention. Otherwise we'll be lost. So then the lineage of the path of salvation and the lineage of the path of liberation, the Buddhist lineage is the path of liberation, the lineage of the prophets is the path of salvation. One aims at the development of the soul, one aims at liberating from mind. Those two paths got woven together, and I felt rested in my soul. I felt mission accomplished. You know, at least I have the view, and other who will come and upgrade the teaching and take it further and humanize it, but at least the vision opened. And I remember that was quite a revelation to me. I felt rested. I felt now I can trust the Diamond Logos. I cannot trust the Diamond approach yet. The Diamond Logos, yes, because it's missing the grace yet. So I that night I felt like I just could sleep for the first time. My soul rested. And I slept, and in the middle of the night, I woke up shaking, convulsing with tears, crying. And I tried to remember, what was it? What made me cry? Is it a memory, a feeling coming up? Is it a dream? I had a feeling, I had a dream and made me cry. I went back to sleep. And again, I wake up again, convulsing with crying. I mean, like, you know, like amazing. I never cried like this since I was doing bioenergetic 50 years ago. And then went to sleep and said, when I wake up, I want to remember what happened, you know. So I woke up convulsing, and at this time, I remember the dream that I had. The dream was, there was this Rinpoche, high Rinpoche, head of a monastery, head of a lineage in Tibet. And he was meditating with all the elders around. And they were all grieving and crying, including him. You know, and the grieving or the crying is that he took on the commitment to leave the lineage, to leave the Sangha, and journey alone, and not to remember where he came from, not to remember the enlightenment and the riches, all that was there, but to completely fall. Not completely, keep essence there, but lose the connection to it for somehow. But the essence is stored in his cells, in his body, in his organs, deep in every muscle. It was there, but he disconnected away from it, developed a personality and ego that reached a pinnacle. You know, and the pinnacle led to dissociation, led to splitting, led to the alien creature. And this fall was the soul of that being, of that Rinpoche, wanted to go to the farthest end that a human being can get lost into. The last sheep, where it got lost, you know, the dog was sent to go find it and bring it back. And that was this Rinpoche who fell, was born in Kuwait, came to America. to go to the farthest end, to retrieve the teaching and to forget, to forget, because if I remember it, I will always be aware, and then it spoils the meal. I have to really get in the lostness, and in the lostness, grope in the dark, I find the ghost there. Issues of mother, issues of father, issues of this, issues of that, all the issues with the different qualities. And reaching that fruition felt, oh, now I remember where I came from. I was a Rinpoche there. I came to do this task, mission accomplished, then I can go back. That was a win, The other win was after that also, I felt I was working with one of my students, very high, beautiful man, very evolved. And he was going through his divine woundedness, his beast inside. He was studying it and merging it, this part that hateful and angry and I want to destroy all of that. He was getting into it for years to see what's the core of it. And that session, he felt the beast coming, but this time it's not hateful. It released the anger, it released the hate, it released wanting to destroy the world. And underneath it was a wounded soul. And the woundedness was not just about mother and father and society wounding it. It was the soul felt I was forsaken by the divine. So it moved into the beast. As you have forsaken me, I shall forsake you. Destroy everything. But it got over the hate, it got over the anger, reached the wound underneath the hate and anger. There's a wound. And he was really crying. He was feeling, oh my God, what have I done? All the trouble I gave myself and others, in this lifetime. And it was about God. I am angry at God. Why have you forsaken me? Why have you abandoned me? As he was crying, look for that, his longing for God awakened so deep that the divine one manifested. The Lord divine, the Messiah manifested in the room. And I know the Lord divine, he's my beloved, So my friend and client went through his healing, feeling divine love, divine grace, that you are not really forsaken, but being in this realm causes forsakenness. You cannot be in this realm without being inflicted. Yeah. And I took the opportunity to ask the Lord divine, Lord, have I done my mission? Yes, I am maybe a Rinpoche or whatever, fine, but that's not enough for me. Have I done my homework? He said, yes, you're done. I said, great, can I go back home? He said, anytime. Said, oh, but I don't want to go now.
You better not go now.
I felt like now I've just awakened to the beauty and the glory of the spirit and the being and this kingdom, the kingdom of heaven at hand. Now I don't want to go, but I just wanted to know that I can go, that I am accepted, because I will not be sent back.
You've done your work here.
Yes, I've done. Then I said, Lord, I feel I've done my mission. I feel I still want to do something besides worshiping. I want to worship the glory of what is here. And I'm grateful to reach this humility and glory and all of those things. But I don't have anything to do. Do you want me to do anything for you? I said, yes. You like to do something? Yes. I said, what? He said, there are very, very few who reach the level of devotion that they let go of this me and I and myself. It's not easy to do. And they want it to be transformed in the emanation of the divine, to walk the earth, hallelujah, love and beauty and everywhere. If you like, I can transform you into that. I'll put you in the cosmic divine oven and bake you. Hallelujah, thank you. Do. He said, it'll take time. to be transformed, molecular structurally, the frequency in the chakras and the essence and all of those things, to be transformed from this totality of the essential domain to the totality of the divine domain with the essential domain. That I haven't reached yet. I am in the making. I am halfway cooked. I hope I make it, you know, but I feel this is the fruition of being where I came from, being born in Kuwait, saturated with the goodness of this, coming to America, feeling the goodness of what is here. So I don't judge it. If I come now, I will judge it. But I came when the goodness is here. And I know those people are really have goodness in them, but they are being misled by the establishment, by all of those things. And they are waiting for this. And I needed to know their alienation, the defensive mechanism of their unconscious, the unholy city of iron, each one living in an iron pearl, isolated, not capable of contacting and feeling, and you know, and being programmed by a cosmic paranoia. The whole universe is against America and against the American, and wanted to get American, like, give me a break, you know. An Iraqi want to get, Iraqi cannot even walk to go, you know, have a piece of bread. Yeah. So I feel, oh, now I reached my fruition. I'm grateful. I hope I get transformed to walk the earth as a little beacon in the image of the divine. There are few of us walking this walk, not many realize this, that many reach it. But if you have reached the divine love and divine mercy and divine wisdom and the path of salvation with the path of liberation coming together. So some people want to know about my personal history. This is the personal history and the essence of it. And during that, I injected our videos with so many stories here and there in the way of camping to reach this place.
So extraordinary. The students will be happy.
I hope so.
There have been many requests.
Yeah, thanks. I hope they don't talk it. I am special, and some people try to give me that. You're special. We are the same. I am just carbon copy of all of us. You know, I just had this. You have this. Everybody has this. You know, somebody got to awaken. You know, and others are awakening, and that doesn't make them any special. It's a job. It's really a job. You know, if I knew it, I would not have signed for it. Too much suffering. Too much, you know, but I'm really grateful. I'm grateful the vision is open and that it is so much to glory, glory. Hallelujah, this kingdom, the glory, and we are not alone, and there are divine beings with us, and there is Lord divine, the head of our tribe, the head of the human race. Very high being. If you see it, you cannot but bow to this one. Most divine. Call him the Messiah, call him the Lord divine. You know, I know he exists. I'm fortunate enough to meet him a few times, you know, and the level that he is, just to tell those who really know, even the Dalai Lama is like a teenager compared to an adult. A youthful spiritual teenager. And this one is an adult, mature, who has journeyed. Dalai Lama still got a lifetime. All those high being Rinpoches, beautiful. Beautiful, you know, I don't know, incarnation of how the human being can evolve. Compared to that one, I haven't seen anybody who is even close or comparable. And that's why I believe, that's why we say there is God, and God is the most high. And it didn't come just like that. That guy also, like us, nailed on the cross, suffered, broken, defeated. He gave us the example of how our soul gets broken and rise. You know, he set us an example of the evolution, not to give up, never give up. You know, because there is a glory to this evolution. Really, there is a glory to this kingdom. Oh, at last.
At last. Thank you so much, Faisal.
Thanks for really being here, for allowing all of this to unfold, to share it. Really grateful.
Thank you.